Hey, welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about E3. We've seen most of the show. We're going to give our post-show impressions.
Yes.
Very exciting. What else are we going to be talking about?
We're going to go ahead and crown a winner of E3.
Oh, yeah.
With a game and with the actual presentation.
Yeah.
In general.
And then we're going to be talking some fun facts and whatever else comes to our mind.
We are. It could be anything. You don't know.
Get up and go!
Do it!
Well, cool. So E3, this was a great year.
Man.
I really enjoyed this year.
Yep.
It was good to get past some of the awkward growing stages.
You know what? Because here we are. We're 2 years. We're 2 years into the next gen, current gen now, and it finally feels like we're seeing content that they finally finished the projects they were developing just for the new consoles,
right?
Versus having to develop it for 360 and the One. PS3,
They're out of
PS4.
the nest. They're full fledged now. They're flapping their beautiful wings.
Yeah, and you could tell, man. Like for the most part, just about all the games that we saw actual gameplay of, it's on a different level than what we've been playing.
There's some polish. There's that next gen feel.
Yep.
The it's not just the technical specs now. The art, the storytelling, and the gameplay is catching up. There's some new gameplay mechanics I haven't seen. Things like For Honor. There's some games that we love that have now left the last generation behind, and so it seems like they're free to become the games that they want, and then just some old titles that we love that are getting like an amazing new lease on life. Mm-hmm. So let's start with Microsoft. What did you like about Microsoft?
We were discussing this earlier, and I own all the consoles, so I'm not really a fanboy of one particular console. I do play my Xbox more than I play any of my other consoles,
but that's probably because of social.
Yeah,
your
social, and then it's something that I played longer anyway. So if it's a continuation in a series of a game that's even on maybe both of them, just for achievements and that continuity, I'll typically select it for the Xbox as well. All the Butter's cat hair.
His hair just like lingers.
Protect my drink. Really, it was a lot of the same of what we've typically seen from Microsoft as far as how they did their presentation. Really, the only thing that got me super excited and wowed me was Forza Horizon 3.
Yeah, and I 100% agree on that.
That's a game that we and some of our other friends, we played the Forza series, since its inception, and particularly the Horizon spin-offs of Forza
they're amazing.
They're great. They're my favorite.
They have the ability to get people who don't play racing games to play
which
racing
we've done
games.
for a number of our friends. Yeah.
And my brother's a great example. He's not a racing game fan, but he loved that. We played the original Forza Horizon a lot, and it was so much fun.
And that was before I knew him. I wish I could have
seen him in that infant stage.
I wish I could have played with that turd.
Yeah.
I can say that about him because I've met him in person once, and so it's fine.
He's a good turd.
Yeah. He's our turd.
But Forza Horizon 3 looked awesome. They said the map is now going to be twice as big as Forza Horizon 2, and a lot more landscape variety. It looks like we're going to have more variety in the type of events. They're getting rid of some events that I wasn't a huge fan of.
Really? Like what?
Well, they're modifying, kind of the raid style events where you just drive across an open field, which I was not a fan of because in Forza Horizon 2, I play cockpit view because I like the immersive feel.
You like being a real racer.
Yeah, I like to feel like I'm in this car, and that's kind of a a fantasy of sorts where here's some high-end cars that you'd never be able to own, and you certainly wouldn't do what you do in this game with
absolutely not.
Drive them off a jump or go 180 miles an hour down some poor little Italian road.
Yeah.
But it looked awesome, and there's water you can drive through, which is kind of new for the series.
The beach, yeah.
It looked like some great off-road environments, sand dunes, jungles.
Driving through those canyons.
Yeah,
and
canyons
through
and
the little
caves and stuff. But then the roads and the cities, it looked like we had a genuine large city, like, a metropolis kind of area.
Yeah, it did.
And then
tall buildings and
then
everything.
they changed it up too, where we see some drifting taking place through a suburban area, homes which, we're not in favor of hot rodding around the neighborhood and causing danger. But, when you were in high school, man, I used to tear up and down those streets.
I caused some danger, for sure. I had a Toyota Supra when I was 17.
What?
Yeah.
What generation?
I guess first, maybe it was a 1985, a little hatchback.
Okay.
And I love that car. I drove that car so hard that I destroyed the engine. I threw a connecting rod in my crankshaft.
Yep.
One piece went through the engine block.
The rod just shot out the side.
Shot out the side through the block, and then another piece went out through the oil pan.
Yep.
So then I was on the interstate.
That's
so
usually
just
from
screwed
oil.
Immediately.
That's usually from oil deprivation.
It had plenty of oil in it. I kept up with that.
Oh.
It was, I don't know. I mean, it was an old
Maybe
engine.
I'm wrong about that. There'll be some gearhead that's like, you don't know what you're talking. What color was the smoke?
But it was a sweet little car though. Leather.
Oh, yeah.
It had a little like a pumper thingy that actually pumped air into the seat to adjust your lumbar.
I still think those are amazing looking cars. They
flip up
capture
headlights.
that 80s look with sportiness. Man, you know what we should do? We should buy one of those on the show. We should find one for super cheap.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the official Griff and Riot or the official Get Up and Go ride.
Man, that would be awesome.
It should be called
I'd love to
Griff and
drive
Riot
that
whip.
car again.
Yeah, we'll crowdfund it. We'll turn it into something.
Anyway, we're crossing out of virtual cars and into real life cars.
But that's what it's about. It's about the love of cars, and they make it where anybody can connect, even if you're not a car person. So that was definitely that was
a highlight.
Would you say that was Microsoft's best showing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That
I don't even remember much what else they did.
The only other thing I got excited about from them was what's the pirate game called? Thieves of the Sea, which that's from Rare, and
it was adorable. The gameplay was hilarious. It was non-violent, so any audience can enjoy it. You could play it with your kids.
The one thing they did right there was showing not only just gameplay, but they showed because you're playing it with other people, and it actually showed other people playing that. I doubt it was live. It looked like it was actually pre-recorded, but it had the people's faces, and it had them. It was very clear they were playing it for the first time.
And they seemed to have very enjoyable and genuine responses.
Yeah.
Unlike we were watching the Ghost Recon. Was it Wasteland?
Into the Badlands, I think.
Yeah, and
not Into the Badlands, the Badlands.
And you got this team of 4 playing, and they're like, I'm gonna flank and we'll spot the tango and do a vector A line on the
all that military lingo.
Tango down. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you don't talk like that when you're actually playing with your friends. But the guys in Thieves of the Sea, like it showed them figuring out how to work the ship because somebody had to let the sails down.
Right.
And then
which
when they
I thought was great. Yeah.
They got in the gun battle and it showed that one the cannon battle. They showed that one guy go below deck to see all these holes and water
trying to patch all the holes.
And you see the guy just kind of looking at the screen. You hear him go, "What do we do? What do we do?
What do I do?" And then after the next shot, they show back.
Yeah.
The whole under deck is underwater.
Yeah, they're like, "We're sinking."
We're sinking. And so the ship goes belly up, and
those are the kind of moments you want to have when you're playing a video game with your friends.
Just that fun wonder, and I thought it looked great, and it seems definitely like something that you could play, and even a hardcore audience would enjoy. Going to be some guys
it looked the fun and it looked infectious.
Yeah,
like you're a pirate. What kid didn't want to be a pirate?
Well, I wanted to be a ninja, but that's a different story. So that was Microsoft. What about Sony?
Sony, in my opinion, Sony won the presentation contest.
They killed it, man.
They
from start to finish.
And I've always enjoyed their presentations. They're always very formal. They kind of seem like a business presentation. Everybody's typically well spoken. You don't have any cheesiness.
But I feel like they do a good job of trimming out the fat.
It was all games.
Yeah.
Like we heard from that dude spoke like 3 separate times.
And he didn't he didn't try to sound cool. Okay, perfect example. The Minecraft display for Microsoft was incredible bad. It was so bad. They had all these people with trendy haircuts and they're holding tablets and like, I'm playing on my iPad. Well, I'm over here.
We're not against trendy haircuts. I think both of us have very nice haircuts.
But it was very forced and it was uncomfortable, and they kept zooming out, and I just wanted to just show the gameplay. Yeah. I don't care what you guys are doing here. I don't care what your HR team put together.
Because we like Minecraft. We play Minecraft, and the new content with the realms looks great.
But show the game. Yeah. I didn't come to see your head of global marketing try to act.
Oh,
I did not know. I came to see the games. I didn't come to see...
He was like riding down the minecart. He was like, "Oh, this is a sweet dragon. This looks like the perfect place to set up my evil lair."
My science lab or whatever. Like, oh my gosh. And he was in the back just like...
he was playing on a phone probably.
Yeah.
Because that is one cool thing they did is the integration with
multi-platform
Minecraft Mobile, the Pocket Edition with everything else.
But Sony, they kept it. It was like a movie theater experience.
Oh, it was great.
The lights went down. They had that awesome orchestra start up front, and I was making a joke. I was like, "Oh, is it orchestra VR game?" and we were laughing about how the conductor looked like a vampire.
He did, but a cool vampire.
Very cool.
Not like a lame vampire.
One that you'd want to be friends with.
Dude, I'd play a Symphony VR. I enjoy going to the Nashville Symphony here in Nashville, Tennessee.
I have yet to
I enjoy that. It's really fun. We should do a double date.
But the music kicked in, and then of course they started out with, and this caught us both off guard, was
God of War 4.
GOW.
Yeah.
And man, that was awesome.
That was one of my more anticipated titles for the conference, and the trailer starts, and it's a gameplay trailer, and you see a little kid sitting there in the dirt playing with some primitive toys. You kind of see that he's in a forested area, and I didn't know what it was. I just thought, this looks cool. What is this? And he gets called into his little hut by his father. Of course, don't recognize the voice.
No.
And then his father steps from the shadows, and it's Kratos with this huge beard.
Yeah.
And I know, and if you're not updated on it, there are people that were speculating, oh, maybe that's Kratos' father, and that's him. It's not. They actually had interviews with the development team. It is Kratos post God of War 3 after killing Zeus.
He was all broed out. Yeah. And then they actually walk out of the hut, and there's an F-250 with like the little chain with like the testicles hanging off the trailer hitch in the back. And he puts on a backwards affliction cap and gets
He's got the exhaust coming through the bed of the truck.
He's rolling coal.
No, this was definitely an older and almost more hardened Kratos, and
he seemed like he did not care anymore about just about anything.
Yeah, which supposedly after killing Zeus in God of War 3, he'd obviously been through quite a few ordeals. In the stories leading up to that.
Antidepressants.
They did say that he moved away, and we know that he had a child. They also confirmed that is his kid, and the kid calls him father.
He calls him sir.
Yeah, but he also calls him father.
Oh,
too.
he does?
Yeah.
I remember...
You didn't call your dad sir?
No.
I did.
Oh. Well.
Under threatening conditions.
Yeah. He need to beat the snot out of you.
Yeah.
And he would.
My dad can still beat me up.
My dad can't, but that's because he's had a triple bypass, heart surgery, and back surgery. So I know his weak points. Sorry, Dad. I'd go straight for the heart.
I'm pretty sure my dad had robot surgery.
Kalima,
but they changed the gameplay up a lot. As you know, if you played God of War, any of the other games, they're all very action adventure games, very hack and slash, which was great. I enjoyed all of the God of War games, but it's not a bad thing for change to happen and for them to innovate and reinvent themselves.
It was a great, in the truest sense, it was a reboot.
Yeah,
with a great cinematic twist and the willingness to move away from a very arcadey, what would you say, combo-based system with the flailing.
It was just the typical hack and slash with and they mixed it up with some other weapons but now he's got this magical axe. We don't have the Blades of Chaos. At least we didn't see the Blades of Chaos in.
You're shedding like crazy
in this. Gameplay demo, but it had some emotional moments. It showed Kratos struggling. It looked like he was struggling with how to be a dad, essentially. Some people speculate that he's been away for a while, and you see that moment after the son is upset after giving the killing blow to that elk. He reaches out to maybe comfort him a bit, and then he's just like, never mind, he needs to be tough.
Yeah,
but man, everything about that just looked really, really good. And I'm very excited for that.
And it looked like it was going to be maybe open world, and the art style was great, and the combat definitely looked awesome.
We saw a dragon.
We were like, what?
But I love Viking lore and just the whole Norse world, and Kratos and all the other God of Wars ends up in some sort of conflict with the gods. And
keep talking. I'll be right back.
And so, in this game, he's in the Norse area, and so we haven't seen anything of the Norse gods that he'll be hopefully having a conflict with. But of course, that means Odin, that means Thor, and lots of cool stuff that they can do. He fought a troll at some point in it, and the troll actually yelled something about sending him to Valhalla. So it seems like a lot of the Norse mythology will be intact for that. So pretty stoked about that game for me, at least, at the whole conference. I think that was probably my best in show, not only in terms of my excitement for the game, but in how they presented it, having the live orchestra there. Accompanying that, they actually scored it. They didn't have any music playing during the candy, and man, they just really knocked it out of the park with the presentation, and that's a huge part of showing something off.
Other great games, Horizon
Zero Dawn. I'm stoked about
Zero
that.
Dawn. The gameplay looked awesome. Loved all the little tools, and the tactical approach, the destructive environments.
Yeah, she can't just go in there and kill one of those things immediately. Like, you had to see legitimate strategy.
And what she did, it looked awesome. I wanted to play it really bad.
Yep. What we haven't talked about really is what's that? I'm already forgetting the name. The motorcycle guy, the zombie game with the motorcycle. What's it called?
I can't remember. Wasteland? No,
it's something about Days.
Days Gone.
Days Gone. Yep.
Cool.
Which they showed the cinematic trailer for it, and you had no idea that there were zombies in any involvement at all. It almost seemed like.
And there was a ton of zombies.
Yeah.
It looked like, there was a lot of computational power going towards putting a metric ton of zombies.
That's
on
more
screen.
than we've seen. I mean, previously, I think the most enemies on screen I've seen has been Dead Rising.
ဒေRising is what I thought of. It looked, more like a realistic approach to that amount.
And Dead Rising, but all those, zombie models are, a lot of them looked, they're slow, they're not moving around. These were just like literally pouring out of different holes in the warehouse, and just warehouses have holes, and it's fine. But it looked like it was almost a new strategy for zombie killing, because it looked like he was taking them down with maybe one hit each. And it wasn't like you have to hit this zombie in the head, because that's not what was happening. But they were piling up, helping block the flow of them. He was able to kind of go into that suspension bridge and kind of bottleneck them was a strategy. Because I thought, there were so many. He actually kind of had a respite from them briefly. He killed most of them that were out there, and that didn't. In any other zombie game you've played, you would have not been able to do.
You're always running.
Yep. So that looks very interesting to me.
And then Call of Duty really caught me off guard. I didn't
know that it was Call of Duty until they showed the name Call of Duty.
It looked like Star Citizen.
Yeah.
We thought
it was some new space IP or something, because that's how well done the space.
But how different it was.
Looked. Yeah. It was. Yeah. I wasn't expecting that at all.
I want it. I think the last Call of Duty game I played was Black Ops 2. I'm not a very big competitive multiplayer guy. I just enjoy the game experience. I like co-op games, but I don't play enough to stay competitive to have an edge. And it ends up just kind of being frustrating, because, who wants to go into a multiplayer lobby and just lose unless they have a serious time to put it in?
See, I like playing against people like you. Actually, you make it easy.
You actually make the game
I've played the multiplayer of every Call of Duty game that's come out, and I always tell myself before the game launches that I'm not going to buy this one, because I know it's just been a lot of the same. But then I'll have some friends, and that's one part why I play video games online, is to spend time with friends and have fun. And I'll play it for a good couple months. I'll prestige maybe 4 or 5 times, which is reaching max level and then starting over. Then I'll kind of drop out of it. Where some people they're still playing Advanced Warfare, but
for months.
It doesn't hold my attention that long. But there's value in it. But I was not planning on buying Infinite Warfare, because I was tired of the space thing. But man, the space combat they showed in this was crazy. It didn't.
It was off the hook.
Yeah, I was very surprised. Yeah.
I really want to play that. So that was Sony, which I'm just going to tell you now, they killed it.
Yep.
They won.
Oh, yeah. They won the press conference.
Best in show. Sure. And I would say God of War was probably the best showing. And Forza Horizon.
Yep.
Those two, I could even just put a tie, because they're such different games.
But they both definitely nailed the presentation on that. But.
And Nintendo showed off a new Zelda game, and
which I'm excited about. I'm a pretty big Zelda fan. It's been a long time coming. There's, I guess, been some stalls in development, and It's just taken a while to get here, but it's called Breath of the Wild, which that's also pretty different from what Zelda games are even typically called. They're
You've got Breath of the Wild right now.
Do I?
Yeah.
It's just Coke and gummies.
I think it's something else.
I did have a chicken parmesan
Gingivitis.
sandwich.
Oh yeah, that could be a couple different things.
Well, your breath doesn't smell like romantic at all.
Yeah, but it's not the Breath of the Wild. So.
Well, don't smell me.
Deal.
But anyway, they say that the world, the map for Breath of the Wild, is 12 times the size of Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess, which is actually, it was a pretty big game, and so we're gonna have a lot more. I just hope they actually fill it up with stuff. I hope it's not a lot of empty space.
Not just that's frustrating.
Yeah, and it looks good. And right now, the only complaints that I've heard about the new Zelda game is the fact that they're not using Linkle, the female version of Link, which just, who cares? Who cares?
Guys.
I'll play as a female protagonist. Doesn't bother me. I'm excited about Horizon Zero Dawn.
I love.
But Link is a dude. That's just the way it is.
The new Lara Croft games, the new Tomb Raider games, great. And they did a good job of toning her down, not making her as much like a sex object as much as just a strong, intelligent female protagonist.
Yeah.
But taking prominent male characters and then just changing them to a female character for the sake of, it doesn't do anything for women. It's not promoting women. That just means that you didn't want to take the time to write an individual
it's a
good
cop-out
story. It is. And so, if we took Marcus Phoenix from God of War and we made him
Gears of War.
what did I say?
God of War.
Oh, gosh. But if we took Marcus...
Kratos' name was Marcus Phoenix.
Yeah. Gosh. It's a late night, guys. It's in the morning right now.
Yeah.
But, if they change the gender of one of those characters, that would just... whatever. I'm not making any sense here. We're going to take a quick break.
We are.
For our fake sponsors, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk some interesting facts, things you might not have known about.
Oh, I dare say you will not have known about them.
Right. Oh, burp. There we go. It came out. Hold it. Keep it going. You're turning blue. You look like you're going to die.
In a moment, it'll be time to go on with the show. But first, I'd like to tell you about the very important savings you can make on your new car, thanks to the new low prices announced just a few weeks ago by Studebaker. Folks have gone for the new Studebaker in such a big way this year that production has been increased higher than it's ever been before in the history of Studebaker factories. And that's why it's possible for Studebaker to reduce the prices from $86 to $141 a car. Why, the savings on Studebaker's lowest priced car amount to $91.25. And that brings Studebaker right down into comparing price range with even the very lowest priced cars. Yes, you'd better look into this matter of a new 1950 Studebaker yourself. And I'll have an invitation for you a little later on. But right now, it's the Buster Keaton Show.
All right, guys, welcome back. I hope that you're going to be encouraged to buy whatever the heck that was.
Yes.
So,
real thing.
We, in the wake of, there's a lot of depressing things going on, but, we're not going to try to get political on this show. We want to be enjoyable. We want to be informative. We want to make your morning, your day better.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that I love is just finding facts. Crazy things happen every day. Maybe you see them, maybe you don't. But somewhere in the world, something a little bit crazier happens. Something else is going on. Or just, something...
Yeah, the craziness keeps escalating.
Right. Like, I remember back in 2005, I remember when that woman claimed that she had found a finger in her chili. Do you remember that?
That's actually I think that's a fibbage question.
Yeah. Well, and what happened was she actually found, it was a real finger. She did find a finger, but it belonged to like a coworker or her boyfriend or something. She found a severed finger and then put it in the chili and then claimed that it had been put there by an employee or that it was somehow just in the process. Well, it's estimated that Wendy's, because of the negative publicity from that, lost $21 million.
Oh, wow.
So, and she didn't get a dime out of it. So in the end, man, I always say don't try to make a living on someone else's misery. She didn't make anything off that, and that still caused misery. Granted, they're a huge company, but hey, let's all just get honest jobs.
One of my favorite facts that I've heard recently is about casu marzu. It's a type of cheese. It's a Sardinian cheese, and
A Sardinian cheese?
Sardinian cheese, yep.
Meaning?
I think that's I don't know if that means it's derived from sardines or if there's a country named Sardinia. I don't know. But the standout fact about this specific cheese is that it contains live maggots. And the maggots can jump up to 5 inches out of the cheese while you're eating it.
Oh, no.
It's a real thing. Yep.
Oh, I don't want to think about that. They can jump out of the cheese?
Yeah, so to everybody that's like complaining about, I don't like blue cheese because there's mold in it. At least it's not jumping maggots.
Yeah, the mold isn't jumping out into your face.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, man, I want to see a video of that, but I don't.
I bet we could find a video of it.
I don't want to see it, though. Don't look it up. I'm not going to watch it.
The website it pulled is ilovecheese.co.uk. And
oh, my gosh.
it's looking like
disgusting.
there's not a... It's a local delicacy. It's very high in demand. It's a highly pungent, super soft cheese that oozes tears called lagrima. And it also tends to burn on the tongue. So why the heck would you...
Is there anything good about it?
One piece of casu marzu may be populated by thousands of living, breathing maggots.
Ugh.
In fact, local Sardinians will tell you the spicy, creamy cheese is only okay to eat if the maggots are still moving. It's actually been declared illegal and is not in compliance with European hygienic standards.
Is Sardinia on another planet that just has everything mixed up and turned around?
Oh, they can even like breed in your intestines.
No.
There's no video, unfortunately.
Okay, we're going to change this up. Okay, this is an interesting one. While watching her first operation, Mary Alice Powell Lindsay, so she's got 4 names, passed out.
It's not fair. I only have 3.
She passed out 3 times.
While doing what?
She was watching her first operation. She passed out 3 times, but she later became the first registered nurse in Utah and was the assistant superintendent of nurses at the LDS hospital.
Wow.
Yeah.
So even if you start out doing something and you suck at it, remember Mary Alice Powell Lindsay.
Yeah.
And just remember that you can do it.
Yeah. Well, hey,
eventually
we suck at this right now, and we're gonna be looking back and being like, look at those 2 guys.
No, I think we're doing everything perfect.
Oh.
Anyway, next fact, and I was reading this earlier while I was waiting on my Parmesan chicken sandwich to be made.
That was a great sandwich, by the way. What do you think about that?
It's pretty good. Yep, it's still sitting in my stomach, giving me energy. This fun fact states that the loneliest creature on Earth is a whale, which normally they travel in, what do they call them, pods?
Yep, pods.
A whale that's been calling out for a mate for over 2 decades, but due to a birth defect, its high-pitched voice is at a different pitch than the other whales, so the other whales cannot hear him. So he's been calling out for someone to love him for 20 years.
So all the other whales are like,
yep. And they can't hear him though.
And he's like,
But he has no idea what's going on.
Yeah. He's like, guys,
yeah.
Hey,
it's not like somebody just told him, hey, you've got this birth defect going on, nobody can hear you. You need to start using like flipper sign language.
I've heard that whales are really passive aggressive like that.
Yeah, they're probably. Can you imagine? He just thinks all of his family and friends his whole life have just been ignoring him.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, guys.
All right, I get it. You don't see me. Whatever.
And they're
when are we going to stop doing this?
And they all think that he's a mute.
Yeah. Like, what is this guy?
That's back? So sad.
Hey, what's up? It's really sad.
Man. That makes me want to go watch Finding Nemo.
It seems like another Pixar movie ready to happen.
It does. The
loneliest whale.
The loneliest whale. The whale we never heard. So sad. I feel like I'm a little depressed now.
Yeah.
I'm not typically a save the whale kind of guy.
Hey, if you're feeling lonely one day, just think about that whale.
Yeah. Even for those of you out there that are single, if you're single and you're calling for a mate, I mean, at least they can hear you. Even if they're not.
You think they can hear you?
Yeah.
Hey.
You got something to tell us?
I like this one. in 1999, a man bought 12,000 servings of pudding, valued at $3,100, and in return earned. They were running a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
You could get frequent flyer miles from it, and he earned 1.2 million frequent flyer miles out of it. That's actually part of Adam Sandler's character in the movie Punch Drunk Love, which I love that movie. And he goes and buys all these. He's not an outgoing guy whatsoever, and Healthy Choice is running this special on all these pudding cups.
Healthy Choice.
So he buys a ton of them, and he's earning all these miles. But the funniest part about it is that he's not the kind of guy that would travel at all. So they're just like, "What are you going to do with those miles?" And he's like, travel.
But he's not going to.
Well, he does at the end.
Oh.
You kind of have to watch the movie and figure out
spoilers.
why. Sorry.
Spoilers.
I don't think I really spoiled anything because there's still the whole other hour and 30 minutes that you get to watch.
I'm not watching it now.
Shame on you.
Another great fact, and it looks like for some reason this article is really just including the scientific name of this monkey, the Rhesus macaque monkey, which I don't know why they didn't give it just like a cool name.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's call it the table monkey. So anyway, they had some table monkeys in like a science lab that they were doing tests on. They see like if they can teach monkeys different like civilized things like writing and solving little ring puzzles and
then how to open a Miller Lite with like the ring on your finger.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, but one thing they commonly teach monkeys is they almost develop like a currency system for them, where they're like, hey, if we're going to give you this treat if you trade a pebble.
And you scratch the stuff off my back,
right?
Or something like
so
that.
Like the monkey will go, they'll say like, oh, here's a dude here with some pineapple. I know to go get from my little store of pebbles and give you a pebble, and I'll get a pineapple. They get that.
Okay.
And they actually discovered that once they implemented this economy
Exchange
essentially, and the monkeys that these male table monkeys would actually pay whatever their currency was. They pay to look at pictures of female table monkeys' butts, proving that the male spirit is still very much intact in monkeys.
Wow, that.
Imagine being the guy like the intern at that science office. They're like, all right, we're about to set up this new experiment. You need to go take these pornographic pictures of these monkey butts.
Here's the Canon, and just go ahead and get the lighting. It doesn't have to be perfect.
We want some classy ones, like maybe throw a thong on the monkey.
Yeah,
and then we want some trashy ones.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna see what these male monkeys think about it.
Maybe turn on, and when you're presenting it to the monkeys, maybe turn on some red lights and play some good music.
But I mean, that's great. How they're introducing porn to monkeys. Shame on them.
Well, the monkeys are the one paying for it, They're the ones that are giving it value as a society. Right now, we could stop doing this, but you're watching it. So you're telling us to keep going.
We'd keep going anyway.
That's true. Sorry, you don't have a say in it.
Oh, but that makes me laugh.
It does.
It makes me feel kind of sad inside. I don't believe in objectifying women. Even monkey women shouldn't be objectified like that. But
as men, I think we understand the power of women, and
that shows that monkeys even have the visual component.
Yeah. They look at another monkey and they're like, dead ass.
I think that's what that table monkey said. Actually,
my wife is an intelligent woman, and she's extremely independent, and she's awesome, and I'm attracted to her because of that. But also, she's got a nice butt. I'm not gonna deny that. I'm not gonna say no, because she would see this and she'd be like, "What?"
She'd be like, "You don't think I have a nice butt, Caleb?"
Yeah, what's wrong? What's wrong with my butt? I'd be like, nothing. I love it. It's awesome. Well, you didn't mention it in your video. She didn't talk like that.
How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you? I think I have a good butt.
Wait, I have something important to say.
Oh yeah. That's good.
I believe I would like to address the Prime Minister.
That's good.
And consult him about his views on.
What is that? It just stopped. Connection to the camera was lost, so the Wi-Fi connection.
Did the battery die on the camera?
Maybe. I mean, we could just throw an outro on
That was
that.
the perfect way to end right here.